I lost my six-figure job and my husband's family immediately demanded I babysit their kids for free. When I said no, they called me selfish and lazy. 6 months of unemployment and suddenly I'm the family daycare. When I refused, they said I owe them for all the times they helped us. My name is Rebecca Hart. I'm 34 years old. 6 months ago, I lost my job as a marketing director at a tech company in Austin. I was making $120,000 a year, contributing equally to my household with my husband David. The company downsized. My entire department was eliminated. Just like that, I was unemployed. It was devastating, scary, stressful. But I immediately started job hunting, updated my resume, took online courses, networked, treated finding a new job like a full-time job itself. My husband's family had a different idea of how I should spend my unemployment. His sister Claire called 3 days after I lost my job. "Rebecca, since you're home now anyway, could you watch my kids after school? Just for a few hours until I get off work. It would save me so much money on daycare." His brother Mark texted the next week. "Hey, heard you're unemployed. We need a babysitter Saturday night. You available?" His mother Linda called every other day with requests. "Can you pick up the kids from school? Can you watch them this weekend? Can you help with homework?" All of them had the same reasoning. "You're home anyway." When I said no, "I'm job hunting, I'm busy, I need to focus on my career," they called me selfish, lazy, ungrateful, said I didn't care about family. When I finally got a job offer for $95,000, they were furious. Told me I should turn it down. That family needs me. That I'm choosing money over them. When I took the job anyway, they stopped speaking to me. This is the story of losing your job and learning that some people see your unemployment as their opportunity to use you. I loved my job at Tech Venture Solutions. Marketing director. Led a team of 8. Developed campaigns. Managed budgets. It was challenging and rewarding. I'd worked my way up over 6 years. Started as a marketing coordinator at $60,000. Promoted to manager. Then senior manager. Then director. By 33, I was making $120,000 plus bonuses. David and I had a good life. We both worked hard. Split bills 50-50. Saved for a house. Planned for kids someday. My career was important to me. I'd earned it. David's family never quite understood that. They're traditional. His mom Linda was a stay-at-home mom. His sister Claire works part-time. They see women's careers as optional. Nice to have but not essential. Men are providers. Women are supporters. That's their worldview. When I was working, they tolerated my career. Made comments sometimes. "Must be nice having so much ambition. Don't you want kids before it's too late?" But mostly left me alone because I wasn't available to help with their stuff. That changed the moment I lost my job. It happened on a Tuesday in March. My boss called me into his office at 9 a.m. "Rebecca, I'm so sorry. The board made cuts. Your entire department is being eliminated. Today is your last day." I was stunned. The entire department? Budget cuts. Company restructuring. It's nothing you did wrong. You've been an excellent director. When is my last day? Today. HR will walk you through severance and benefits. Again, I'm really sorry. I packed up my office in a daze. 6 years of work in a cardboard box. I cried in my car before driving home. David was supportive when I told him, "We'll be okay. You'll find something better. You're talented and experienced." But what if I don't? What if this takes months? Then it takes months. We have savings. We'll make it work. I appreciated his support. Really did. But I also felt this intense pressure to find something fast. I was 34. 6 years at one company. In a competitive market. What if no one wanted to hire me? I started job hunting the next day. Updated my LinkedIn. Revised my resume. Researched companies. Applied to positions. Reached out to my network. Set up informational interviews. Started taking online courses to add skills. Treated it like a full-time job. 8 hours a day at my computer. I was productive, focused, determined. Then David's family started calling. Claire first. "Rebecca, David told me about your job. I'm so sorry. That must be so stressful." "Thanks, Claire. I'm handling it. Already applying to new positions. That's great. Hey, while I have you, I could really use some help with the kids. Now that you're home anyway, could you watch them after school? Just from 3 to 6. Would save me $800 a month on after-school care. I was taken aback. Claire, I'm job hunting. I don't have free time. You're not working. How busy can you be? I'm applying to jobs, networking, taking courses. It's a full-time effort. But you could do that in the morning and watch the kids in the afternoon, right? No. I need my afternoons for interviews and meetings. I can't commit to regular childcare. It's just a few hours. You're home anyway. There was that phrase, home anyway. Like being unemployed meant I was just sitting around with nothing to do. I can't, Claire. I'm sorry. Wow. Okay. Family helps family, Rebecca. But I guess you don't see it that way. She hung up. I felt guilty, but also annoyed. I was in crisis. My career was disrupted. My income was gone. And her response was to ask me to babysit to save her money? Mark called 2 days later. Rebecca, you free Saturday night? We need a sitter. I'm not really available for babysitting, Mark. Why not? You're not working. I'm job hunting. And even if I wasn't, I'm not a babysitter. Come on. It's one night. We'd pay you. I don't need money. I need to focus on finding a job. You can't take one night off. We're family. I'm sure you can find a babysitter. There are apps for that. Those cost money. You're free. I'm not free. I'm busy. Doing what? You don't have a job. I was getting frustrated. Job hunting is my job right now. I can't take time away from that. That's pretty selfish, Rebecca. We've helped you and David out before. You can't return the favor. When did you help us out? We had you over for holidays when you didn't have anywhere to go. That was ridiculous. We attended their family events because we're family, not because we needed charity. That's not the same as asking me to provide free childcare. Whatever. Guess we know where we stand with you. He hung up. Linda started calling daily. Rebecca, can you pick up Claire's kids from school today? She's running late. No, Mom, I have a job interview. Can you watch Mark's kids this weekend? They need a sitter. No, I'm working on applications. Can you help with homework? The kids need support. Their parents can help with homework. Every request was met with "you're home anyway," and every refusal with "you're so selfish." Like my unemployment was their opportunity. Not my crisis, their convenience. I vented to David. Your family keeps asking me to babysit. It's constant. They're just trying to help you feel useful. I am useful. I'm job hunting. I know, but maybe helping them out a little wouldn't hurt? Keep you busy. I am busy. That's the problem. I don't have time to watch their kids. It's just family helping family. They've helped us before. When? Give me one example of when they helped us. He thought about it. Couldn't come up with anything. They're family, Beck. They mean well. They mean to get free childcare. Don't be cynical. But I wasn't being cynical. I was being realistic. They saw an unemployed woman and thought, free babysitter. Not, person in career transition who needs support. Free babysitter. Week 3 of unemployment, Claire showed up at my door with her kids. Hey, the kids are out of school early. I have to run errands. You can watch them for a couple hours, right? Claire, I told you I can't. I'm already late. Thanks so much. She left before I could protest. I was stuck with 2 kids for 3 hours. Couldn't take a scheduled call with the recruiter. Had to reschedule. When Claire came back, she was all smiles. Thank you so much. This was such a help. Claire, you can't just drop them off without asking. You weren't doing anything important. I had a recruiter call scheduled. I had to reschedule because of you. Oh, well, you can do that anytime. The kids needed care now. Don't do this again. I'm serious. You're being really cold, Rebecca. They're your niece and nephew. Don't you love them? Of course I love them. That's not the point. Then what's the point? Family helps family. That phrase again. Family helps family. But it was only ever them asking me to help. Never offering help to me. I started avoiding their calls, letting them go to voicemail. Stopped responding to texts immediately. Needed to protect my time and energy for job hunting. But that made things worse. Linda called David. "Your wife is ignoring the family. She's being very hurtful." David came to me. "Mom says you're not taking her calls. Because every call is a request for babysitting. I can't deal with it. She just wants to spend time with you." "No, she wants free childcare and she thinks I should provide it because I'm unemployed." "You're being paranoid." "Am I? Call her back and see how long it takes before she asks for something." He called Linda. Put her on speaker. "Hi Mom, Rebecca's right here. What's up?" "Oh good. Rebecca, can you watch the grandkids tomorrow? I have a dentist appointment and Claire is working." David's face fell. He couldn't deny it anymore. "Sorry Mom, Rebecca's busy tomorrow." "Busy with what? She doesn't have a job." "She's job hunting, Mom." "She can do that anytime. I need help tomorrow." "We can't help. Sorry." He hung up. "Okay, I see your point. Thank you. But Beck, they're just asking because they need help. Can't you help them out occasionally?" "Why is it always me helping them? Why don't they help me?" "How can they help you?" "They could ask how my job search is going, offer connections, give emotional support. Anything besides asking me to babysit." "That's fair." But nothing changed. The requests kept coming. By month 4, I was getting good traction in my job search. Second round interviews with several companies, a few interested in bringing me on. One company in particular, a marketing agency, seemed really promising. They loved my experience, my portfolio, my vision. They made an offer. $95,000. Slightly less than before but still great. I was thrilled, relieved, excited. I accepted immediately. Called David. "I got a job. $95,000 at a marketing agency. I start in 2 weeks." "That's amazing. Congratulations, babe." We celebrated that night. Dinner out. Champagne. Relief. The nightmare was over. I was employed again. I called my parents, my friends. Everyone was happy for me. Then I told David's family. Linda's response. "Oh, that's sudden." "Sudden? I've been job hunting for 4 months. We were hoping you might stay home a bit longer. Help out with the grandkids." "I need to work, Linda. We need my income." "David has a good job. You could take a break." "I don't want to take a break. I want to work." "That's very selfish, Rebecca." I was shocked. Selfish? To have a career? To abandon family when we need you? "I'm not abandoning anyone. I'm going back to work." "The kids need you." "The kids have parents. I'm not their parent." "But you could help." "No, Linda. I'm done with this conversation. I'm taking the job. End of discussion." I hung up. Claire called an hour later. "Mom told me you got a job. Are you really taking it?" "Yes, Claire. Of course I'm taking it." "But who's going to watch the kids?" "You will. Or you'll hire childcare. Like you did before I was unemployed." "I can't afford that on my part-time salary." "Then work full-time. Or ask Mark and his wife to split a nanny. Figure it out." "This is so selfish. You know we need help." "I need to work, Claire. I need my career. I need my income." "You're choosing money over family." "I'm choosing my career and my financial independence. That's not wrong." "It is wrong when family needs you." "Your family needs are not my responsibility." She hung up on me. Mark sent a long text. "Really disappointed in you. We thought you'd help us out while you had time. Now you're just going back to your corporate job and leaving us in the lurch. Guess money matters more than family." I didn't respond. David was caught in the middle. His family called him constantly, complaining about me, pressuring him. "Talk to your wife. Make her see reason. She's being so selfish. Doesn't she care about family?" David defended me at first. "She needs to work. It's her career. You can't expect her to give that up." But they wore him down. "Maybe you could ask her to do it part-time? Work fewer hours." "Why would I do that?" "To help my family." "They're not entitled to my time, David. I'm not their employee. I know, but they're struggling, and you could help. So could you. Why don't you babysit? I work full-time. So do I now. But you could be more flexible. No, stop. I'm not negotiating my career to provide free childcare to your siblings. You're being really harsh. I'm being realistic. They want to use me. I'm saying no. The week before I started my new job, Linda called a family meeting. David insisted I come. We sat in Linda's living room. Me, David, Claire, Mark, Linda, and Mark's wife. Linda started. We need to discuss Rebecca's new job. What about it? I asked. We think you should reconsider. Reconsider having a job? Yes. The family needs you here. The children need stability. You working full-time disrupts that. I almost laughed. I'm not quitting my job because you want free babysitting. It's not about babysitting. It's about family. It is about babysitting. That's all any of you have asked me for since I lost my job. Claire jumped in. That's not fair. We've been supportive. How? How have you been supportive? We've been understanding about your job loss. You've been vultures waiting to exploit it. Mark, that's harsh. Is it? You called me 3 days after I lost my job asking me to babysit. You didn't ask how I was. You asked for free childcare. Linda, we thought it would help you feel useful. I felt useful job hunting. I didn't need you to give me purpose through childcare. David, Beck, calm down. No, I won't calm down. Your family has been treating me like hired help for 4 months. And now they want me to turn down a job so I can continue being their free nanny. It's insulting. Linda, if you cared about family, you'd help. If you cared about family, you'd support my career instead of sabotaging it. Claire, we're not sabotaging anything. We're asking for help. You're asking me to sacrifice my career for your convenience. Mark, everything is about your career, your needs. What about ours? What about mine? Did any of you ask what I needed when I lost my job? Did anyone offer to help me network? Introduce me to contacts? Support me emotionally? No, you just asked for babysitting. Silence. Linda, we assumed you were fine. You're strong, capable. I was struggling. I was scared and stressed and worried about my future. But none of you noticed because you were too busy planning how to use me. David, that's not fair. It's completely fair. Your family saw my unemployment as their opportunity, not my crisis. I stood up. I'm taking the job. I start Monday, and I won't be available for babysitting. Find other arrangements. I left. David stayed. He came home 2 hours later. That was rough. They ambushed me. They're just worried about childcare. That's their problem, not mine. You could have been nicer. I've been nice for 4 months. It didn't work. So now I'm being clear. You made my mom cry. Your mom tried to manipulate me into quitting my job. I don't feel bad about that. She's my mother. And I'm your wife. Whose side are you on? I'm not taking sides. Yes, you are. You're asking me to sacrifice for them. That's taking their side. He didn't respond. I started my new job the following Monday. It was wonderful, challenging, engaging, everything I'd hoped. My new boss was supportive. My team was talented. The work was interesting. I felt like myself again. Productive, valuable, professional. Not just an unemployed woman people wanted to use. David's family stopped speaking to me. They unfriended me on social media, stopped inviting us to family events. Linda posted on Facebook, "So sad when people only care about money and career. Family should come first. But some people don't understand that. Praying for those who've lost their way." Everyone knew she was talking about me. Claire posted, "When you need help and family turns their back on you, it really shows people's true colors." Mark shared an article about the importance of family with the caption, "Some people need to read this." All directed at me. Because I got a job instead of being their free nanny. David saw the posts. "Can you just apologize? Make peace." Apologize for what? Having a career. For being harsh at the family meeting. I wasn't harsh. I was honest. Just say you're sorry so we can move past this. No. Why are you being so stubborn? Because I didn't do anything wrong. They're the ones who should apologize. They won't. You know that. Then we're at an impasse. Weeks passed. The silent treatment continued. David's birthday came. His family had a party. I wasn't invited. You should still come, David said. I wasn't invited. You're my wife. You're automatically invited. Your mother made it clear I'm not welcome. Just come. For me. No. If they want me there, they can invite me. I'm not crashing. He went alone. Came home upset. Everyone asked about you. It was awkward. I bet. Mom said you could have come if you'd wanted to. Did she invite me? Not directly. But she assumed. No. She excluded me on purpose. To punish me. You're being paranoid. Am I? Check her Facebook. Did she post about the party? He checked. She'd posted photos with the caption, "Family party with everyone who matters." Everyone who matters. I wasn't there. David couldn't deny it anymore. Okay. That was pointed. Your family is icing me out because I chose my career over free babysitting. Maybe if you just helped them a little. Stop. I'm not the bad guy here. They are. They're my family. And I'm your wife. Are you going to stand up for me, or not? He was quiet. I'm trying to keep the peace. The peace shouldn't require me to sacrifice my career. Can we just talk to them? Find a compromise. What compromise? I work. They accept that. That's the compromise. Maybe you could babysit occasionally. Like once a month. No. Why not? Because it's a slippery slope. I give an inch, they take a mile. I babysit once, they expect it weekly. I'm drawing a hard line. You're being inflexible. I'm being boundaried. There's a difference. 6 months into my new job, things have settled into a new normal. I'm doing well at work, getting great feedback, in line for a promotion. David and I are okay, strained sometimes, but okay. His family still doesn't speak to me. They have family events without me. David goes alone. Claire hired a nanny. Mark's wife went full-time. Linda complains about never seeing the grandkids. All problems they could have solved without me. David asked me recently if I regret not helping them. No. I regret that they couldn't support me when I needed it. But I don't regret protecting my career. Do you think we'll ever have a relationship with them again? When they apologize for treating me like free labor instead of family. That might never happen. Then I guess we won't have a relationship. Does that bother you? Honestly, not as much as you'd think. They showed me who they are. I believe them. I'm 34 years old. I have a career I love. A husband who's learning to support me. Financial independence. I don't need people in my life who only value me when I'm useful to them. I was unemployed for 6 months. It was hard, scary, uncertain. But I handled it. Got a new job. Rebuilt my career. And I did it without compromising my boundaries. My in-laws wanted a free nanny. I wanted a career. I chose my career. And I'd make the same choice every time. The thing about losing your job is it reveals who people really are. When I was employed, David's family treated me with a kind of distant respect. I was busy, successful, not available to help with their constant needs. So they left me alone mostly. But the second I lost my job, I became a resource to exploit. Not a person going through a crisis, a resource. Someone home who could solve their childcare problems. The speed of it was shocking. 3 days. That's how long it took Claire to start making demands. 3 days after losing my 6-figure job, and she was asking for free babysitting. Not how are you holding up? Not is there anything I can do to help? Just can you watch my kids? Like my unemployment was her opportunity. And when I said no, I became the villain. The selfish career woman who doesn't care about family. Never mind that I'd worked hard for 6 years to build my career. Never mind that I was in crisis and needed support, not demands. Never mind that their children are their responsibility, not mine. All that mattered was that I was home and they needed childcare. So I should provide it. For free. Indefinitely. The entitlement was breathtaking. I think about what would have happened if I'd said yes to that first request. If I'd agreed to watch Claire's kids after school, just for a few hours. It would have escalated. Slowly at first, then quickly. A few hours would become every day. Then weekends. Then, can you keep them overnight? Then we're going on vacation, can you watch them for a week? Before I knew it, I'd be a full-time unpaid nanny. And my job search would suffer. Interviews missed. Networking opportunities lost. My unemployment would stretch from months to years. And they'd act like they were doing me a favor. At least you have purpose. At least you're helping family. Meanwhile, my career would be dead. My savings depleted. My future gone. All to provide free childcare to people who could afford to pay for it. Because that's the thing, they could afford childcare. Claire works part-time by choice. Her husband has a good job. They drive nice cars. Take vacations. She doesn't need free childcare. She wants it to save money. Mark and his wife both work. They have disposable income. They can afford a babysitter. They just don't want to pay for one if they don't have to. Linda is retired with a pension. She could help with the kids herself. But she'd rather I do it, so she can have her free time. None of them needed me. They just wanted to use me. And when I said no, they acted like I was denying them something essential. Like I was withholding medicine from a sick person. When really I was just protecting my career and my future. But they couldn't see it that way. To them, a woman's career is optional. Nice to have but not essential. If it conflicts with family needs, the career should give. That's their worldview. And I refused to accept it. Which made me selfish in their eyes. The social media posts were particularly hurtful. Linda's passive-aggressive comments about people who only care about money. Claire's posts about family turning their backs when you need them. Mark sharing articles about family values with pointed captions. All designed to make me look bad publicly. To paint me as the villain who abandoned her suffering in-laws. When the reality was I was the one who needed support and they were the ones making demands. But they controlled the narrative on social media. And people who didn't know the full story saw their posts and felt sorry for them. I can't believe Rebecca won't help her family. She's so selfish, prioritizing her career over her nieces and nephews. Family should come first. She's lost her values. Comments from people who had no idea what really happened. Who didn't know they called me 3 days after my job loss demanding babysitting. Who didn't know they pressured me to turn down my job offer. Who didn't know they'd made my unemployment about their convenience instead of my crisis. But I couldn't defend myself publicly without looking defensive. So I just stayed quiet and let them control the narrative. It hurt, but engaging would have made it worse. David struggled with it all. He loves his family. He also loves me. Being caught between us was hard for him. He wanted peace, wanted everyone to get along. Kept suggesting compromises that required me to sacrifice. Just babysit occasionally to make them happy. Just apologize even if you don't think you did anything wrong. Just let them have this one so we can move past it. Always asking me to bend, never asking them to respect my boundaries. I tried to explain it to him. Your family is treating me like their employee. I'm setting a boundary. Why is that wrong? It's not wrong, but it's causing conflict. The conflict exists because they're being unreasonable, not because I'm setting boundaries. Can't you just give a little to keep the peace? Why do I always have to be the one who gives? Why can't they give? Because they're my family. They raised me. I don't want to lose them. And I'm your wife. Don't you care about losing me? That got his attention. Of course I care. I love you. Then stop asking me to sacrifice myself to please them. I'm not asking you to sacrifice yourself. I'm asking you to help my family. Those are the same thing. They want me to give up my career. That's sacrificing myself. He didn't have a response to that. We went to couples therapy after a few months of this. The therapist was helpful. She asked David, if Rebecca was still employed, would your family ask her to take time off work to babysit? No, probably not. So why is it okay to ask her to take time from job hunting to babysit? Because, I don't know. She's home. Is job hunting work? I guess so. Would you ask someone with a job to quit that job to babysit? No. Then why ask Rebecca to quit job hunting to babysit? He saw the parallel finally. I hadn't thought of it that way. Your family is treating Rebecca's unemployment as free time. But it's not. It's time she's investing in her future employment. You're right. So when they ask her to babysit, they're asking her to sacrifice her future for their convenience. Yeah, I get it now. And when they get angry that she won't do that, they're being unreasonable. Okay, yes, they are. It was validating to hear a therapist say it. That I wasn't crazy, wasn't selfish, wasn't wrong. I was setting reasonable boundaries and they were violating them. David started defending me more after that. When his mom called complaining about me, he shut it down. Mom, Rebecca was job hunting. She didn't owe you free childcare. But family helps family. She was helping herself by rebuilding her career. You should have supported that instead of making demands. I can't believe you're taking her side over your own mother. I'm not taking sides. I'm pointing out reality. You were wrong. Linda stopped calling as much after that. Claire tried a different approach. Send me a long email. Rebecca, I've been thinking a lot about our conflict. I'm sorry if I made you feel pressured. I was just stressed about childcare and thought maybe you could help since you were home. I didn't realize how much pressure I was putting on you. Can we move past this? It sounded sincere, but there was a catch. The last paragraph. Now that some time has passed, I was wondering if you'd be open to watching the kids occasionally? Like once a month on a Saturday? I'd really appreciate it, and it would help us rebuild our relationship. So the apology wasn't really an apology. It was a setup for another ask. I didn't respond. Mark tried the guilt trip approach. The kids miss you. They ask about Aunt Rebecca. Don't you care about them? Of course I care about them. Then spend time with them. I'd love to spend time with them on my terms, not as free childcare. Everything is always on your terms. When it comes to my time, yes. That's selfish. That's having boundaries. You've changed. You used to be fun and easygoing. Now you're rigid and cold. I used to let people walk all over me. Now I don't. If that's rigid and cold, so be it. He didn't like that answer. Linda tried the religious guilt angle. God calls us to serve our families, to put others before ourselves. You're being very prideful, Rebecca. God also calls us to use our talents. My talent is marketing. I'm using it in my career. At the expense of family. I'm not at the expense of family. I'm in addition to family. I can have both. A woman's first calling is to nurture. My first calling is to use my God-given talents, which include professional skills, not just childcare. You're twisting scripture to justify your selfishness. I'm interpreting it differently than you. That doesn't make me wrong. She wasn't happy with that either. But I held firm. Because the truth is, if I'd given in, I'd have lost myself. My career is part of my identity, part of who I am. I worked hard to build it, sacrificed to advance it, take pride in it. Giving it up to be a free nanny would have killed a part of me. And I wasn't willing to do that. Not for people who didn't even respect what I was giving up. They didn't see my career as valuable. They saw it as a distraction from what they considered my real purpose, serving them. If I'd accepted that framework, I'd have been miserable, resentful, angry, lost. So I chose myself, my career, my future. And I don't regret it. Even though it cost me a relationship with my in-laws. Even though it strained my marriage. Even though it made me the villain in their story. Because in my story, I'm the heroine who protected her dreams. And that's the story I choose to believe. Now 9 months later, things have stabilized. I got that promotion at work. I'm now a senior marketing director making $110,000. Better than my previous job in some ways. David and I are in a better place. Therapy helped. He gets it now. His family still doesn't speak to me, but I'm okay with that. They've proven who they are. I accept it. Claire found a full-time nanny. It's working out well for her. Mark's wife changed her schedule to be home more. They figured it out. Linda complains but manages. All of them solved their childcare problems without me. Which proves they never actually needed me. They just wanted to use me. And when I wouldn't let them, they punished me. But their punishment doesn't hurt as much as they probably hoped. Because I have my career, my income, my identity, my future. All the things I would have lost if I'd given in. So really I won. I won by choosing myself. By protecting my boundaries. By refusing to be used. That's a victory worth celebrating. Even if it cost me a relationship with people who didn't really value me anyway. I sometimes wonder if they'll ever apologize. Really apologize. Not the fake apology followed by another ask. But genuine acknowledgement that they were wrong. That they treated me like free labor instead of family. That they should have supported my career instead of sabotaging it. I doubt it. People like that rarely admit fault. They've rewritten the story in their heads where they're the victims. Where I'm the selfish career woman who abandoned them. Where they did nothing wrong. That's easier for them than admitting they were exploitative. So they'll probably go to their graves believing I wronged them. And I'm okay with that too. Because I know the truth. I was unemployed for 6 months. It was the hardest professional period of my life. And instead of supporting me, they tried to use me. That's on them, not on me. My conscience is clear. My career is thriving. My boundaries are intact. And I'm free from people who only valued me for what I could do for them. That's not a loss. That's liberation. Looking back on those 6 months of unemployment, I see them differently now. At the time, it felt like the worst thing that could happen to me. Losing my job, my identity, my income, my security. I was scared, anxious, uncertain about the future. But it also revealed truths I needed to see. About David's family, about what they really thought of me, about how they valued women. If I'd stayed employed, I might never have seen it. They would have remained polite, distant, tolerable. But my unemployment stripped away the facade. Showed me exactly who they were and what they thought I was for. Not a person with dreams and ambitions, a resource to be exploited. Someone whose time and labor belonged to them if I wasn't otherwise occupied. That's dehumanizing, but it's also clarifying. Now I know, and I can make decisions based on that knowledge. I don't have to wonder if they really care about me. They don't. I don't have to hope for a better relationship. It won't happen. I don't have to feel guilty about disappointing them. They disappointed me first. All of that is freeing in its own way. No more pretending. No more trying. No more hoping. Just acceptance and moving forward. The job I have now is actually better than my old one in many ways. The company culture is healthier, more supportive, more flexible. My boss values work-life balance, encourages professional development, respects boundaries. When I told her about my unemployment experience with David's family, she was appalled. They wanted you to turn down this job to babysit for free? Yes. They thought I should stay unemployed indefinitely to help them. That's insane. You're so talented. This company is lucky to have you. It was nice to hear someone say that. After months of being told I was selfish for wanting a career. My colleagues don't know the full story, but they see my work, my dedication, my results. And they respect me for it. That professional respect matters. It validates my choice. Reminds me that my career is valuable, that I made the right decision, that I'm not selfish for prioritizing my professional life. I've made friends at work, people who get it. One woman, Jennifer, had a similar experience with her family. When I had my first baby, my mother-in-law expected me to quit my job and stay home, said working mothers are selfish, that real women prioritize family over career. What did you do? Went back to work after 3 months. She didn't speak to me for a year, but I didn't care. My career matters to me. Do you regret it? Never. I love my kids, but I also love my job. I'm allowed to have both. Talking to women like Jennifer helps. Reminds me I'm not alone. Not crazy. Not selfish. Just a woman who wants a career and refuses to apologize for it. David's relationship with his family has changed too. He sees them occasionally. Alone mostly. They ask about me sometimes. He tells them I'm doing well. They don't ask to see me. He doesn't push it. It's a new normal. Separate spheres. He's sad about it sometimes. Wishes things were different. But he also knows I'm not the one who needs to change. Do you think they'll ever apologize? He asked recently. No. Do you? Probably not. They think they were justified. They were wrong. But they'll never admit it. Does that bother you? It used to. Not anymore. Their opinion doesn't define my reality. I'm sorry they put you through that. I'm sorry you're caught in the middle. I'm not in the middle anymore. I'm on your side. That meant everything. For months, I felt like David was trying to appease both sides. Keep everyone happy. Avoid conflict. But he's not doing that anymore. He's made his choice. My career. Our marriage. Our future. Over his family's demands and expectations. That's what partnership looks like. We're talking about having kids now, maybe in a couple years. When we do, I already know how it's going to go with his family. They'll expect me to quit, to stay home, to be a full-time mother. Just like they expected me to be a full-time nanny during my unemployment. But I won't. I'll take maternity leave, then go back to work, hire childcare, balance career and motherhood like millions of women do. And they'll disapprove, call me selfish, say I'm neglecting my children. But I already know how to handle that. I've had practice. Set boundaries. Hold firm. Ignore the guilt trips. Prioritize my family, my husband and kids over their expectations. Live my life on my terms, not theirs. I'm ready for that fight, 'cause I've already won the first one. The fight to have a career despite their disapproval. Everything else is just a variation on the same theme. I sometimes think about what I would say to other women in similar situations. Women who lose their jobs and face family pressure to provide free labor. Women whose in-laws think their time is communal property. Women who are told they're selfish for having professional ambitions. I tell them, your career matters. Your time matters. Your future matters. You don't owe anyone free labor just because you're temporarily unemployed. Job hunting is work. Networking is work. Professional development is work. You're allowed to prioritize those things over other people's convenience. You're allowed to say no, to set boundaries, to protect your career. Even if it makes people angry, even if they call you selfish. Because choosing yourself isn't selfish. It's necessary. Especially when the alternative is sacrificing your future for their present. Stand firm. Hold your ground. Choose your career. The people who really love you will support that choice. The people who don't, you'll learn who they really are. And that knowledge, while painful, is also valuable. Because you can't build authentic relationships with people who see you as a resource instead of a person. Better to know the truth and adjust accordingly than to waste years trying to please people who will never be satisfied. That's the real lesson from my 6 months of unemployment. Not that I should have helped David's family, but that I was right to refuse. Not that I should have been more flexible, but that I was right to hold firm. Not that I was selfish, but that they were entitled. And recognizing that difference changed everything. I'm not selfish for wanting a career. They're entitled for expecting free labor. I'm not cold for setting boundaries. They're unreasonable for violating them. I'm not wrong for choosing myself. They're wrong for demanding I sacrifice myself. Flipping that narrative in my head was liberating. I spent months wondering if I was the bad guy, if I was too rigid, too career-focused. But I'm not. I'm just a woman who knows her worth and refuses to let people diminish it. That's strength, not selfishness. My career is thriving now, better than before in many ways. I'm respected at work, valued, appreciated, promoted, making more money than ever, building my professional network, pursuing opportunities. All things I would have lost if I'd given in to David's family. If I'd become their free nanny instead of rebuilding my career. I'd be unemployed still, probably depressed, definitely resentful. Trapped in a role I never wanted, serving people who didn't appreciate me. That's the alternative timeline, the one where I said yes. I chose the timeline where I said no, and I'm so grateful I did. Because this timeline, the one where I have my career and my self-respect, is so much better. Even without a relationship with my in-laws. Even with the strain it put on my marriage. Even with being called selfish and cold and career-obsessed. All of that is worth it, because I'm free. Free to build the life I want, the career I want, the future I want, without compromising who I am to please people who will never be satisfied. That's the real victory. Not the job, not the promotion, not the money, but the self-respect that comes from choosing yourself. When everyone else is telling you to sacrifice yourself. That's the win. And I'll carry it with me for the rest of my life. My name is Rebecca Hart. I'm 34 years old. I lost my job. My in-laws wanted to use me. I refused. Now I have a better job, better boundaries, better understanding of who deserves space in my life. I chose my career over their convenience. And I'd make that choice again, every single time. Because my career isn't just about money, it's about identity, purpose, independence. And I'm not giving that up for anyone. Especially not for people who only see me as free labor. I deserve better than that. And so does every woman who's ever been told her career is optional, or selfish, or less important than other people's needs. It's not. Your career matters. Your ambitions matter. Your future matters. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. Not even family, especially not family. Because family should support your dreams, not demand you sacrifice them. And if they can't do that, they don't deserve access to your life. That's the lesson I learned. And it changed everything. Have you ever been unemployed and had people try to take advantage of your time? Have you ever had family members who only valued you for what you could do for them? Have you ever been called selfish for prioritizing your career over others' convenience? Share your experience in the comments. Sometimes the people who should support you are the ones who try to use you instead. If you believe that being unemployed doesn't mean you owe people free labor, hit that like button and subscribe. Because job hunting is a full-time job, and family should support your career, not sabotage it for free childcare. #they wanted free childcare.